Hola. How is everybody? I hope you're having a wonderful time. My phone is going a little bit bonkers. It's okay. It says, hey, you weren't online all weekend. All those things. Let me share out real quick because Facebook's making it difficult, right? So what were we going to do today? I don't know. What are we going to do today? Hold on, let me get this. Let me do this really quickly. Good morning, Billy Ann. I have to share out because, I have to find myself first. That's the hard part, is finding myself on Facebook to share out. Oh, there we are. Oh, that's not me. Where am I? They've made it so difficult. This is just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous that we have to go through this. But I guess we just got comfortable with the way they were doing things and all of that. So I'm having to share out to some different groups that we are on. So let's do that one. And just to get ourselves back out there again, because they've kind of constricted some of the things we do. So if you are on any of our groups, if you could share, that would be wonderful. I'm trying to share it to ours and I can't find our own groups. But this kind of takes up some of my time sitting here doing this, to be sitting here talking to you. Oh, there's the other one. Okay. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Good morning, everybody. How are you? I'm sitting here drinking my coffee still. So we have Christy Perez on YouTube. Good morning. Billy Ann, Facebook. Lisa Phillips, Facebook. Good morning. And Angela Darrow. Good morning. So what we're going to do today is we're going to talk a little bit, as well as do some past life readings. We're going to talk about how to, this has been what we're talking about at Expos. Good morning, Jansen. We're talking about developing your skills, like understanding what they are. The first step to really working with your intuitive skills is to understand what they are, right? Good morning, Teresa. And a lot of times people stumble through lives. That's true. Very true. Lives, and don't even realize what their intuitive skills are. Because we all have them, right? I'm so sorry. I'll put this over there. We all have them. So identifying them and understanding just how far we can reach into our own personal intuition is a big deal. Because the more we use our intuition in any given, day, the more we're going to be working with our guides and our angels and our past loved ones. And then we're going to start creating more and more connection. The more connection we have, the more guidance we receive. And it's this wonderful circle of all of a sudden we start to feel connected to the energies that surround us. Now, who wouldn't like to be a little bit more connected to the other side, even if it's just you feel a closeness to spirit, or you feel a bit more spiritual, or all those things. I mean, these are all relevant things to us, right? As humans, we should be looking a little bit beyond what we already know. That should be part of our journey, looking a little bit beyond everything that we do on a daily basis to see how we can dig a little deeper, right? And the more we do that, the more our guides go, oh my gosh, they're paying attention. Aha, they're paying attention. Good morning, everybody. If everybody could share to a group, that would be fabulous, because Facebook has restricted that for us. So if you could all share to a group, that'd be wonderful. But the more we step into that connection, the more incredible things, good morning, Gina, the more incredible things start to roll out into our lives. Just knowing that you're never alone. How many people would benefit from not feeling alone? How many people have had a moment in life where you just have felt totally abandoned? Every living person on this planet doesn't feel like they have fulfilled what they say they're going to do, and you get depressed and you feel isolated and all of that. Who's done that? We've all done it, right? Because we're putting humans against our expectations of what we would do and how we would do it. And not everybody meets up, right? Not everybody would, and I'll be honest, I expect everybody to work just as hard as I do. And I work a little hard. I do a lot of stuff. If I'm outside working, I haven't helped anybody that lives in this house that's not outside working. If I'm outside cleaning stalls, somebody better be out there with me. Things like that, Can I get an amen? Throw me a heart. Throw me some emojis, you guys. I expect what I put out. And sometimes I step back and I realize that's not going to happen. It's not going to happen because my priorities are not everybody else's priorities, right? And that's okay. We have to be okay with that, because if we all said, you have to do exactly what I'm doing to make everybody happy, then nobody's going to be happy because they have different goals than we do, right? My point behind this is when you start to step into your intuition, you start to step into that feeling of, oh my gosh, I am never alone. It is amazing how it shifts and changes our perception of ourselves and our support that is around us, because not all of our support is something you can see. That's why we develop our intuition, you guys. That's why we step into the intuition. That's why we step into connection to the other side. So we have more of a support system. Good morning from Scotland. Good morning, Margaret, and Bianca, Nyan, Janet. I'm going to get one of those romper room things. Pamela, Julianne. So this is why we do these things. This is why we've had so many students that have taken psychic development classes, but they don't want to read for other people. They're just doing it for themselves, which is perfect. Julianne stepping into her power, taking it back from others' expectations, because we do end up trying to live up to other people's expectations. And I'm a good example of that. I'm a great example of that, because I'm like, we want people to be able to be there for us, and we want to be there for people. And sometimes it's not always possible. So build your network, step beyond what you can see, step into your intuition. So in here, what do you guys, and throw a comment out, what do you think your intuitive skill is? What do you think your intuitive skill is? Do you know? Oh, you're going to be in the hospital again, Katrina. Oh. Is my coffee sitting at the bottom? That's not good. What do you think your intuitive skill is? Everybody has one, or two, or three, or four. So what do you think yours is? Good morning, Robin. Good morning, Anna. So when we're doing expos, when we're out traveling and we're doing expos, I lead everybody through a meditation, and I don't even call it a meditation. And I think that helps people feel more comfortable, because how many people feel like you don't know if you're in your imagination or your intuition, right? Am I imagining it? Who's done that? Am I imagining that, or is that my intuition? Did I just hear something, or is that my intuition? I heard a group of people clearly talking in the bedroom last night, like 3 people having a conversation in our bedroom last night. And I was, because I've been laying there, and when I go to bed, I'm like, bring me the information I need, but do it between this hour and this hour, because I want to sleep too. And I actually turned to Sam and I said, did you just say something? And he's like, no. And then he went off to sleep. And I'm like, somebody's having a conference call in here. Serving others as a channel for healing. I love that, Julianne. I love that. And now, how do you do that? Are you doing it through Reiki, or are you doing through energy healing, doing trance mediumship, trance healing? Katrina's really great at reading energy. We read energy, you guys. Do you realize you read energy when you someone walks up and say you're doing the dishes and someone walks up behind you and you know who it is in the family. Who's done this? Like you've been standing there and someone walks up to you and you know exactly who it is. You don't have to look at them. You just know who it is. Who's done this? We don't think about it. There's so many things that we don't think about that we do that are absolutely 100% energy signature reading, right? Or you just feel like you know who's around you spiritually. It's because you're aware of their energy, right? You know what it feels like. So when doing guided meditations, combination mediumship, Akashic records, remote viewing, and past psychic skills. Awesome. Awesome. Where are you located? So when we're doing these things, in a minute, when I lead people through a meditation, I always tell people, make sure you don't worry too much about the visual. Because when I'm leading through people through a meditation, they may not be clairvoyant, which means that is not going to be their strongest suit. They may not see much within a meditation. It's not a shortfall. It's just not their strongest suit right now. But if they're standing there in their meditation, and for the people that struggle with clairvoyance, they really want to be a clairvoyant, but they're not quite hitting that mark yet. In their meditation, I'll say, close your eyes within your meditation. Take that stress away from you. Take that stress away from you. So if you're meditating, you're really struggling to find your spirit guide, and you're not finding them, and they say you're gonna see them over in the distance over there. They're walking across the field, whatever. I'll tell people, if you don't see that, just close your eyes and stand in the grass and feel the wind within your meditation, and then invite your guide to come in front of you. And when they're standing in front of you, just leave your eyes closed and become aware of the sensation of that particular energy before you. Learn their pattern, learn their energetic feel. And when you're ready, then open your eyes. But don't be upset if there's nobody there. You know they're there through feeling. So there's so many different things that we can do to create connection and really be in touch with that without having to use every single clair. You know, the Hollywood clairs, the clairaudient and the clairvoyant, right? But you can create that connection just by knowing they're there, asking them to be beside you, and knowing that that energy is there. That's today's nugget. Don't give yourself too much stress. Enjoy it. That happens to me a lot. I live in an old farmland. I can hear old bands and conversations. Isn't that cool? Absolutely. I don't think it's supposed to do that. Why are you doing that? I'm going to drink it anyway. Okay, let's do some past lives. I absolutely love cruising around the Akashic halls. And I'm supposed to do a little something at the beginning of this, so I will be doing that as soon as I stir my coffee back up. Gonna stir my coffee. Everybody could share to a group. That'd be fabulous. Or a page, whatever. I sat on the porch today and I stepped into my meditation. I'd be lying if I told you guys I meditated all the time, because I don't. I meditate when I feel the need to meditate or when my guides tell me that they would like to chat. And so the past couple of days, I've been feeling pulled towards meditation. But this morning was the first time I had the moment to do so. So I went and I sat on the front porch and I was drying my fingernails. So I sat in the sun on the front porch and I was incorporating what I have in the front porch into my meditation. There's a beautiful breeze today. So I incorporate that into my meditation and I'm feeling the breeze and I'm hearing the birds. And I find myself standing on the edge of a cliff. You know, you don't always have to know where you're going in a meditation. Good morning, Kimmy. I love the name, Kimmy Corpse. You don't always have to know where you're going, but I'm standing there, or I'm sitting in my chair on the porch, and I start to feel the sway of the wind, and I'm standing on the edge of a cliff. And I just incorporate everything that I'm having going on in the moment into my meditation. It's a great way to bring yourself in. And when I got where I was going, which is my gazebo outside the Akashic halls, I actually heard one of the goddesses I work with. I didn't see her. I just stepped past my threshold and I heard welcome back. And I went, I have been living on the knife's edge of anxiety for too long, of too much to do and too many things pulling me in too many directions. And my guides were like, oh, thank God. She knows she needs to stop that shit. So it was a wonderful morning. I do encourage you to take 2 or 3 minutes just to close your eyes and just enjoy. Okay. I hear the peacocks in the barn. They've been all morning. Actually, it sounds more like help. I'm sure the neighbors love it. Sounds like we're killing people out there. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a moment. Oh, this is interesting. I have no idea what we're doing. I have no idea what we're doing. All I know is it's going to be led. That's all I know. So I'd like to invite you, if you can, if you're not driving, please don't do this if you're driving because that's bad, right? We don't do this because if you get pulled over and they're like, well, my eyes were closed because I was listening to Lisa on a live and she said, close your eyes. And no, I don't need that kind of karma. So if you're able to close your eyes and ask Archangel Michael to fill your energetic field with a beautiful blue white light. Oh, that's so beautiful. Thank you. Filled with protection and love. And on that big, huge, beautiful blue bubble, we are going to add sacred geometry, whatever kind of geometry works for you. But if you know what Metatron's cube looks like, that would be perfect. Because we're going to invite Archangel Metatron to come and stand with us. He's a wonderful guide for the Akasha calls. Oh, gosh. And in our imagination, we're going to walk towards a large door. Just a door. It can be freestanding, can be in trees, it can be in a block wall, whatever. Big, beautiful door, any color that suits you. And I would like you to close your hand. Feel your hand close. And then in your imagination, open your hand and see a key. That is the key to your Akasha calls. The door before you will lead you directly into your halls. So you can use that key to turn your lock anytime you'd like. That is your key to your halls. And we thank Archangel Metatron for helping and ask Archangel Michael to remain with us for the whole day. So let's move forward, and if we could throw some emojis out, that would be great. Good morning, everybody. Lisa Gomez, how are you? I'm going to stir my coffee again. I just ground the coffee, so I'm wondering if that's it. And back to the here and now. Loved and protected. How many people saw a key? Did you see a key? How many people saw the door? You know, you have access to your Akasha calls at any given time. They are your halls. You are allowed to enter them at any given time. So all you have to do is step through the door, turn the key, and step through the door. Has anybody done? Who's this? Who's a first timer for this? Who's a first timer for this? This was simple, right? This was simple. There's no stress involved in this. There's no stress involved in this. This is how meditation should be. This is how, notice I didn't say let's step into a meditation. I said I invite you to step into your imagination. And the reason I do that is because they're the same, you guys. They're the same. You have to have your imagination to use your intuition. Your intuition has to have something to fish from, right? So every time you meditate, trust yourself. For the love of all things holy, trust yourselves and trust that what you're seeing is part of what you're supposed to see. First time since class. We do have an Akashic Records class in the membership, don't we? I am a horrible salesperson. I'm just terrible at it. This is our membership. This is where we teach all these things. Good. Heather Johns, how are you? How are you? I miss you. Okay. So So what we're going to do is, if everybody could give me a whoop whoop in the room, I will be picking some people to do Akashic readings for this morning, afternoon, whatever it is now. It's 12:30. I'm still drinking coffee. I think I'm still doing another 2 cups. I'm starting intermittent fasting. So I heard that the coffee and the MCT oil are my friend. There we go. Anyhow. All right. So, son of a monkey. Okay. So let's go with, okay, thank you. We're going to go with Kimmy Corpse. Now, here's what I'm going to say. Yay, that's awesome, Heather. Here's what I'm going to say. Do not shoot the messenger. Don't go into this with preconceived notions. If you guys are new to the page, make sure you subscribe or like or whatever. Because if you're on the page, that's the only place Facebook's letting us do lives unless we share them out. So if you're not on the My Mystical Life page or our YouTube page, you won't get a notice that we're live. Don't ask me. Okay, don't shoot the messenger. Don't go in with preconceived notions. And there is no bad past life. There is no bad past life. There's lessons, just like we're doing like right now. There's lessons and expansion and people in our soul groups that are there to help us. Now, here's the other thing I'm going to tell you is that everybody in your soul group that's with you right now, good, bad, and different, they're here for you, not to torture you, right? Even the ones that give you the most difficult time, the ones you swear you don't want anything to do with because they're a horrible person, blah, 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 blah. Jamie, I haven't seen you in forever either. They're here to teach you. And unbelievably, on the other side, when you're setting up your new life, they go, you know what? I'm going to teach you so many lessons that you are not going to forget. We are working on this. We're going to work on it hard, and you are going to hate me. But that's how much I love you. And that we have to understand that to actually be able to move forward. So the people that give us the hardest time actually on a soul level love us the most. Anyway, moving forward, don't shoot the messenger. I'm going to give you what I get, and I do not like blow smoke up anybody's wazoo. I'm just going to tell you what I get. So I'm going to start here with Kimmy Corpse. Kimmy, I know that your first past life, they're always going to bring you the past life that is relevant to what you need to know now. Did you get a good read from Chris? He's so sweet. I love Christopher. He is so sweet. I can't wait to go over to Scotland and meet him in person. Anyways, thank you. Okay. So Kimmy Corpse, I want to start and say, I know that this particular lifetime that I'm bringing across, you probably lived up to about 25 years old. Okay. So it wasn't a very, very long lifetime. It is a male past life. And this person in this particular past life had a problem with communication. They did not speak what they wanted to say. They were not allowed to bring across some of their thoughts and ideas. They were kind of pigeonholed. I also want to say, I feel like this is, oh my gosh, I have a word come across and I'm just gonna give the word. I don't, Punjabi. They give me the word Punjabi. I don't know. But I feel like this person I feel a march. I feel like they were protecting what was theirs. It was somebody that was, okay, I got it. Thank you. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. I've not had one of these before. This is interesting. So I have an Eastern Indian gentleman. I don't know where he's from. Possibly. I don't know where he's from. India. I have no idea. I just know that he is in a uniform that is very foreign to him. And as I'm looking at this, I'm like, well, why would you be in a foreign uniform? He loves his homeland, loves his homeland, loves the people, loves the culture, love all the things. But why would you be in that? And I feel like he's marching for the English. I feel like there is I haven't had one of these. This is really cool. I feel like he is put into service, actually. He's put into service to enforce the rules of the English, and it was so against his soul. Like the soul knows what's going on, right? But he just wanted to be him, but he was forced into the mold of being somebody else, even being a different nationality, and it was very, very difficult on him. Something about a piece of his culture was taken away from him. There was something he wasn't allowed to do, or his family wasn't allowed to do, that they had done traditionally for, centuries, and it was removed from them. And he couldn't talk. He couldn't vocalize anything. There was strict punishment for speaking out against the way things were. And the other thing I have to say is I feel like he wasn't not paid. I feel like he received pay for this. And he felt like he got money. I feel like he got money. Tammy Emmett, how the hell are you? I feel like he got money and he felt like it was dirty money. It was, hi, good morning, Isis. It was something he used. He used the money because he had to survive, and he was doing better than he was financially before. Okay. So when he was put into this service of this military, whatever occupation, he made a better living, but he was not nearly as happy as he had been. And this is something that he was really, really struggling with. And I hate to even put it this way, but it kind of drained him. It drained his will to thrive. I don't want to say it drained his will to live, but it drained his will to thrive. It was just a day-to-day thing. He wasn't out there trying to, get himself killed or anything like that. Trudy, I haven't forgotten about a schedule. But it wasn't as important because he felt like every step he took involved blood money. And not just money. It was blood money against his own people. Does that make sense? So it was against his spirit, what he was doing. So the reason they bring something like this forward is if you're doing something that feels counterintuitive to what helps you thrive and makes you happy, you need to start examining that and looking and going, you know what, is this something I can drop from my life? Or do I have to do this? Is this infringing upon your happiness and your well-being in this lifetime? Because if not, reassess this shit and just make it happen. Figure out a different way to do things. You are a talker. Oh my gosh. You can be talking. I don't know. Do you do oppression is very unhealthy. Kimmy, do you do any kind of lives or vocalization on do you do social media? Were you doing lives or a podcast or anything like that? Because I feel like you're going to be making up for. Good morning from Australia. Good afternoon from Australia. I know it's later in the day for you, Renata. I feel like you can be making up for this oppressed speech because this is a fairly recent past life. And this is something you're learning. You're learning. So I say he only lived to a certain age because I feel like he actually walked into mortar fire. Like he walked into, and he wasn't suicidal. He just didn't care. You do a podcast. Awesome. He just didn't care. And I can smell gunfire. And I also want to say I feel like he had maybe a young wife and a small child. But it didn't matter because he just felt like he was living on the blood of his people. That's what he felt. So that is a past life for you. What's the name of your podcast, Kimmy? I bet it's interesting. Okay. Kim Coots, how are you? She says, wow, hearing this, I'm seeing concentration camps, someone doing what they needed to survive. I believe concentration camps are some of the hardest readings I've had to do. I've had some readings, you guys, that have come across, and whoo, I've had Phantom Friends and Echoes in the Wind. I'm writing these down because how fun. I'm writing, sorry. Phantom Friends. Is that on YouTube? Echoes in the Wind. And Paranormal Kitchen. Okay. Spelling things right. Okay, there we go. But I hope that's helpful. Let go of the things that don't serve. Facebook and YouTube. Okay. Do you have classes on working with sacred geometry? Absolutely, Julianne. We have a whole series that Sam did. I think it was like 8 months of sacred geometry and discussion on sacred geometry. If you guys are interested in learning more about Akashic Records, we absolutely have Akashic Record meditations and classes in the membership. These are things that we really work in a lot. Yes, Laura's class is tonight. Tonight's class is going to be your personal energy and how to work with it and how to create with your personal energy. She'll be on at 8 o'clock tonight. I hope that helps, Kimmy. I hope that helps. Okay, moving on. Can we have another whoop whoop in the room? Let me see who is here, who is still here, and we will move from there. If you guys don't tell Sam, I can give you guys a link to a 7-day free trial of the membership. Would you guys like that? You plan to be there, Isis? I can give you a free link to the 7-day free trial on the membership. If I find it. Don't tell Sam. He's like, what are you doing? Look, man. Hey, okay, there we are. Where is it? Find it. You know, it's here. We do have coming up. We have. Oh, that's not it. We're going to be doing an evening. Oh, there it is. We're going to be doing an evening of. His guide will tell him. If you want that link, let me know and I'll post it up here. We're going to be doing an evening of group readings. I will be coordinating that today. I know I was going to do it the other day, but I got super busy. We'll be coordinating that today, and I will be asking for volunteers from the membership that want to read on the Brady Bunch panel. And we will be going out on, thank you, Amber. We're going to go out on our YouTube and our My Mystical Life platforms and do free readings for a couple of hours and have some fun. And we'll be just doing free readings and having a good time. So there we go. That will be that. All right. Moving on. Let's see. I think that the membership has the benefits. Unfortunately, Amber, although your price isn't changing, the membership is now $22.22 a month because everybody jacked our prices up. So the silver membership is now $22.22 a month instead of the $11.11. And so, inflation. I don't care what they say. We're in a recession. Okay. I agree. I think it's worth that as well. Looking for any. Okay, here we go. We're going to go with KJ Hearts. Okay. Well, you're in luck. It might be your day. No promises made, but you'll definitely stand a better chance. What, Adam? What did I miss? Okay. KJ Hearts. All right. This is an interesting one. Oh God, this is going to be funny. I don't even know where this is going. You're totally right, Isis. It's like 5 years of knowledge and community in the membership. It is 5 years of recorded classes that have happened weekly. Absolutely. It is 5 years. It's amazing. Okay, I gotta stay on track. I'm gonna buy a squirrel on a stick for the expos because I have a designated person to keep me on track when I'm talking. Okay. It's funny as shit, but whatever. Okay. I want to start, KJ, and tell you that this particular lifetime is very bougie. That's all I know at this moment in time. I start these, you guys, stepping into your halls, and they kind of bring me a lifetime, and they say, this is the one we need to talk about right now. And I go, okay. But this one is so funny because I see a middle-aged man. I'm so sorry. I see a middle-aged, what we're going to call fop, right? He has on the short pants and the nylons underneath with the pretty shoes, and his face is whited out, and he has a really pretty birthmark that's put on his face. And he's wearing a wig. I can tell you he's hard of hearing. Much older than what he looks like under makeup. Okay. So he's kind of really trying to keep up with the trends. Oh, look at, we have now we don't have a troll now because I just got her. Delete comment. If you got a comment from Dia Psychics Medium, please disregard. That is not me. I will not troll you. I don't troll. Anyways, I know. So hang on. He's trying to keep, oh, okay. I can also tell you, he was very amorous. He's outlived 2 wives, and I hate to say this, he's proud of that. I've outlived 2 women. And I think that he's probably why the women didn't last as long as they should have, because he's challenging. He's very challenging, and not because he's mean or angsty or anything like that, but he's a little bit of a wild child still. He's not really he's not matured a lot. I feel like he has some cha-ching. He has some money. He has a title behind him. He's an earl. They just gave me that. They're like, he's an earl. And I don't know what that symbolizes. I don't know what that is. So they show me him taking his foot, like taking his leg out, pointing it out, and then he kind of like goes like this with his foot, like runs it in the dirt back and forth in front of him, like he's coy. I have to say, I really think that I don't know the name for this, but if somebody approached him, he would sleep with them. Oh my gosh, I wonder if that's why the wives died. I feel like he was very entitled from a very, very young age. I think he was spoiled rotten. I think he was catered to and kind of still a brat. I'm so sorry. Peacock feathers. It's like, wow. I don't know where we're going with this. What's the lesson on this? I'm so sorry. She's like, I've been fascinated. Now I'm like mortified. He also experienced migraines. I feel like he maybe when he was younger was spoiled because he had some delicate health issues. I don't think he was as I have to say I feel like he didn't get enough petting as a child. You know, he didn't get it because everybody was afraid to hurt him. So as he grew older and he grew stronger, because he got healthier as he got older, maybe he was born a little premature in that time. He started to live like there was no tomorrow. I don't feel like he was a big alcoholic. I don't think alcohol and things like that settled with him well. So I don't think that was it. So I think he picked up vices in other places, right? He didn't gamble his money away either. And they're very specific about that. They're like, he kept his money because he knew the value. So I think that when he was younger, he was taught how to financially manage things, but his emotions run amok, you guys, because he was a little bit of a wild one. But I will also say that he preferred younger men to women. And I think that that was part of why his wives didn't last as long. I think that he was very neglectful to the person that was sitting next to him to help him feel like he was doing his duty, right? Like he had to produce a child. But I don't think he had any kids. I don't think he had any kids. I think that he never could fulfill that. And I think that was also part of an emotional thing for him. Like, even if he tried, there was no children. So we all have, some of us have that crazy uncle, right? They have that crazy uncle, and even maybe the nieces or nephews could exceed them in maturity level. And I feel like this is something that happened with him. I feel like he buddied up with a nephew, and he knew that that's where his fortune would be to the nephew. But it was important. Now get this. This is really interesting to me. As much fun as he had on a personal level, he kept his finances in order. It was important to him that the legacy of his name, Christmas Vacation's Crazy Eddie, right? It was important to him that there was a legacy. And I also have to say, I get the feeling from him, like, I know that I'm a hot mess, but I love me. It seems like he's fallen apart in a bunch of different areas, right? But really what it is he understood who he was, and he lived to that because he knew that this wasn't going to happen and this wasn't going to happen, but I'm going to be happy. And that's what he did. So this particular lifetime was about dropping the things that didn't serve him, right? It's a theme. But finding his personal joy. What made him happy? Did it make him happy to paint his face and put a wig on and go sit out in the salon? It certainly did. He liked to be seen. He liked to be seen, and he liked to see people. So he just lived to that degree. And I believe the lesson here is, do you like every aspect of yourself? And the things that you don't like, why are you holding on to them? I love doing Akashic record readings because sometimes they are guides. I'm too sexy for my yeah, or Jillian, you're hysterical. We should be messaging. I don't know why we should be messaging, but we should be like messaging. But it is about being comfortable in your own skin, knowing what your interests are, being open to gathering into your interests, but also not losing track of the things that are important in life. And he does talk about the importance of family. He talks about how difficult family can be. And it's so funny because he goes, because I'm the difficult one. I was the difficult one. I also have to say, I believe that he had a lot of responsibility thrust on him way too young. I have to say, I feel like there was a plague or an illness that went around and took most of his family. So he fell into his title very early, way earlier than he should have. It was a lot of stress. It's a lot of stress. He talks about hearing something too. Are you clairaudient, KJ? Are you aware of being clairaudient? He says, your higher self is talking to you often, and are you listening? Oh my God, your higher self is talking to you a lot. Are you listening? There's nudges constantly, and you need to pay attention to that more. So your inner dialogue, you have no clue. Your inner dialogue, and I say this a lot, so people know this phrase from me, but your inner dialogue is always going to sound like you, right? It's going to sound like your own voice, but pay attention to your pronouns. Are you saying me and I, or you and we? If you say you and we, you are always talking to somebody else when you say that. So pay attention to that. That's a clairaudient. You're very clairaudient. You if you don't understand how to use it, oh my God, it's Diana. But yeah, Julianne wants to know how this is impacting her life today. The only thing I can do is give her the information and she gets to analyze it. Yeah. I have no idea how it's impacting her life today. I hope it makes sense. Moving on. You'll have to look into it. Yeah, pay attention. Pay attention. Those pronouns are important. Good afternoon, Vicky Roop. Or attention. Yeah, pay attention or you get whacked by that 2x4. Margaret Bennett understood the assignment. She's already here doing whoop whoop. Gotta get a whoop whoop in the room, you guys. So when I pull a name, Angela Maynard. She's another one of our teachers, you guys. Angela Maynard teaches Ancients and Aliens. She's an Egyptologist and a numerologist. And that's a fascinating class. Her last class was on dragons. Was it dragons the last one, Angela? Was dragons the last one? Or that was one before that? I'll have to look. Oh my goodness. Then Diana says her niece just found out she's pregnant. She was 5.5 months pregnant. She delivered him last night. He's a fighter, 1.5 pounds. Please have this boy in our thoughts. Hope he is doing well, and mom too. Congratulations. So many thoughts going your way, going her way, boosting that baby up, boosting mom up, because mom and dad will definitely need all the encouragement as well. Prayers for the baby, man, you guys, collective prayers for that baby, because 1.5 pounds ain't much, but it's enough. Okay. All right, let's see. Name is Wyatt. I love it. Wow. What a sudden life change. How long did she know she was pregnant before she delivered? Whew. That's a life change. Okay. Dragons. I thought I saw a dragon. Okay, let's go with Angela Darrow. Angela Darrow. She just found out a couple days ago. Oh my gosh, mother's out here. Could you imagine just finding out and then all of a sudden you have nothing? Like no crib, no room, no diapers, no formula, no baby shower. But she has time. She has time. Angela says her niece is having difficulties with her pregnancy and may have to take her early, sending wonderful energy that way as well. They had problems, said she could not get pregnant. It's a miracle baby. Okay, I have to remember who I was talking to. Angela Darrow. Today is past life, you guys. Past life day. Okay. So Angela, surrounding that baby. It's all shocking, right? Surrounding that baby. Rayleigh Jean Moore just came home. That was awesome. Awesome. Induced 4 pounds. Wow. Now she's 5. I don't know where this is going. This happened to you, Marla, and she thrived beautifully. That's awesome. I don't know where this is going, Angela, so I'm going to start with this. The first thing I get is a feeling of constriction around my throat. I feel rope. I know I feel rope, but don't worry, this is not a death moment. I also know that in this particular lifetime, this is going to be a little bit traumatic, and I'm sorry. I'm going to give you what I get. Once again, don't shoot the messenger. I feel a loss of vision in one side of my eye and one of my eyes. And it's due to an impact, a blow to Charlie. I pick who my guides tell me to as we go through. So it's fair game to everybody. So this was about a blow to the face and I feel tightened. Oh, it's not rope. Okay. It's, I got you. Thank you. That's the crappy part about, clear cog, is you get that sensation that goes with it. It's tightening on the neck. And I know I'm just going to tell you guys, I know this is indigenous population to the United States. So this is Native American. The woman is not Native American. The woman is, we're going to call her an interloper. We're going to call her, I don't know what they call them, people that invaded the land other than assholes. I mean, I don't know. But they were trespassing, right? I feel like this woman came off of a settlement. And I'm not going to go into all of the things that I pick up on this one. I'm just not going to, because there's just some trauma. But I do get this constriction of possibly, it feels like a loop of leather that's pulled out and it's tightening. So I don't know if they keep wetting it and it gets tighter and it gets tighter. But this woman had some trauma. She was blonde. I don't know why that's important. But she was blonde, and people would come up and touch her hair. People would come up and touch her hair. And I have to also say that this is not a death moment. This is not a death moment. I believe that there was more value to her alive. So she actually just became kind of like somebody that ran for the water, somebody that tanned hides. And it's the truth. Native Americans kept slaves. I mean, they did. They would raid other tribes, and they would take and steal people, and that would be their servants. So they did do this. This was a big thing that went along, especially out west. So I just feel like that's what they slipped her into, that type of a role. I don't know if they did this though. I don't know if they carried a second woman. I don't, that's what they say. And that's exactly the words they use, because I'm sitting here trying to find the words, and that's the words they give me. Carrying a second woman. I don't know if this was something that she was a secondary wife, or I don't know if they were polygamous. I have no idea. But they say carrying a second woman, so she was the second woman. I'm going to look that up because now I'm interested. But she fell into a rhythm of life. She fell into this rhythm of life, and I believe this is where she lived her life. I don't think she was, you see in westerns and whatever, where they swoop in and they save the woman. But I don't think that was at all case here. And I think she settled into the rhythm of their life and just remained basically just a silent citizen. I'm trying to figure out what this. They're trying to give me, like, she heard so many things. She learned and adapted. Oh, Angela would know. Some tribes were polygamous and others monogamous. So I'm wondering if this was. I'm going to say, and I'm sorry, I don't know, a way to boost the numbers of their tribe. Like, it's not that it was a love connection, it was a way to bring in more children in the tribe. It feels like a matter of survival, not for just her, but to be useful, but for the tribe to increase the numbers. I don't know. Um, but I can't say it was a disharmonious life for her. So after she settled into the rhythm of it, she was older when she was taken. So she was probably 14 or 15 when she was taken, and she just settled into it. There was a point that she just gave, and not broken, but gave and flexed emotionally, and actually became part of this particular tribe. I will say I don't feel like she talked a lot. I don't know if she had damage to her vocal cords, But I keep getting like, she didn't talk a lot. I looked up what you just said and it brought up women who were carrying the babies. Thank you, Shelly. Thank you. Because I'm sitting here going, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Sometimes we're just given information, and that's why I start talking about it. Because if somebody else knows, like, Angela or somebody looks it up, that's great. Because I don't have to know everything. I just pass the information along. Like the baby carrier strapped on the back, the papoose, something like that. What else? What else? So this particular lifetime is about this particular life, and I know this is going to sound very counterintuitive, right? Because this lady was taken from a situation and taken into a whole other situation and changed her whole life, right? But I don't know that the Native American lifestyle was any worse than the lifestyle she was in previously. I feel like it actually was like this, and she had to decide how she was going to live her life. I feel like the settlers' lifestyle was very, very difficult. I feel like there was something going on in that home that was not right and very difficult. So she had to choose how she was going to live. Her situation dictated that she was there, right? She was there. She could either flex and become part of a family, because it's really what happens is what happened was it feels like she stepped in and there was a lot of anger, a lot of frustration, a lot of situation to start with. But after a while, they just kind of assimilated her and she became more family than she became prisoner. So she had to learn to flex to that. And I feel like she had a very decent life. Doesn't sound like it, right? Because to us, we like want to throw that mantle off and be like, no, you don't just take somebody. We don't just take somebody. But we're talking hundreds of years ago. Yeah. Because they were just migrating across. So but what she does talk about is something that she saw. She saw things like the beauty. Oh, I understand that. It took her to a new level of understanding of everything around her. Like everything. That there's so much more than just digging in the dirt. You can live in harmony. And I think that she enjoyed that. And the other thing I have to say is she helped feed the older people. Angela says, so don't forget, you guys, Angela is Egyptologist, archaeologist. She's been on digs all over the world. She says hostages are often adopted into the tribe, and after they're there for a long time. I feel like she flexed to that. I feel like she did. I think she created, stepped into that role of being a member of the tribe. So this particular lesson is about how to create flex, right? What things in life can you work with? We sometimes have difficult situations that we are presented with that we have to either bend or break, and you have to be the one to decide to bend or break. Because could this woman have fought her whole entire life and been miserable? Because obviously nobody was coming for her. And the other thing I hear is that's more often than not. Like more often than not, people wouldn't be come for. I don't know. If my kid was taken off by somebody else, I would have gone for him. But they're like, we didn't expect people to come for her. We expected her to assimilate. So, what is the thing in your life that you can either flex to or drop? Things like that you have to look at. And it doesn't have to be life altering like this either. It can be small things. Like, do I still go to Starbucks every day, or can I flex on that and go get something else? But there's different choices we have in life that we learn and we grow from. But she does talk about the beautiful things. And she talks about the scenery, the mountains, how beautiful the mountains are, and the red rock. This is the thing she talks about being beautiful. Okay, this is from Amber. She says, I have a question. I know you've spoken about your previous exit point opportunity. I'm calling it opportunity. Does anyone have the exact same amount of exit points, or have we chosen how many we have? So Amber's talking about just like 2 minutes before. I'm glad that makes sense, Angela, because I felt like I was rambling. I'm trying to gather more information from them. I'm glad that makes sense. Before the total solar eclipse, I had a moment where I can't explain exactly what happened other than I had an exit point come in, and it was just total silence and peace and acceptance. And I had the choice to make as to whether I was going to stay in this lifetime or move on. And it lasted it seemed like it lasted a long time, but I'm sure it didn't, because people came in from outside and they were like, come out and look at the eclipse. But it was very, very unsettling to me. And so that's what she's talking about. After the fact, I was like, holy hell. Do we all have the same amount of exit points? I'm going to say no. My guides tell me no, that we choose how many exit points we have available that we want to set up. Because if you're living the super harmonious life, how many exit points do you set up? If you're having a harder life, would you set up more exit points? But I'm not talking about taking my own life or anything like that, you guys. That's not what this is about. This is when my guides come in, and actually I heard them out loud say, this is a predestined exit point. You have the choice to go now and end this particular experiment, or you can remain. FYI, I'm still here. Just so everybody knows. Larissa, how are you? So, but I think that's different for each person. I think it's different for each person. That was a thing. Freaked Sam out. Boy, did it freak Sam out. Let me tell you what, I wasn't allowed to go like take naps or anything for a while. He's like, You're still here too, Teresa. Okay. Yeah, Amber, that's what I think. That's what I believe. Okay. Can I have whoop whoop in the room, you guys? It was an amazing experience. I know I got on here and I was like, we should do a class on exit points. I'd have to do some checking in with my guides to check on that. All right, let's see. Oh God. Okay. They can leave me a message. I don't know a John Fiddler. I think we've run into exit points. We absolutely do. Kelly Lavoy, how are you? Okay, so let's go with Julianne. Now, here's the thing. I'm going to give you a past life, but it's not the past life you're looking for. And the reason they do this is because we may think we need to know something, and at this moment in time, it's not exactly what our guides think we know. So I'm going to give you this past life, and I'm sorry. I know the very, very first thing I feel is inhaling. I feel taking in. This is the weirdest one. I've never done one of these before. Linda Winland, how are you? Oh my God, I haven't seen you in forever. You guys, if you are on YouTube, make sure you click subscribe, because and if you're on Facebook, go to My Mystical Life. It's facebook.com/my-mystical-life1. That's my Facebook page. They're making it very difficult for us to be on groups. So if you're looking for a Facebook page that notifies of lives, that's the one. So I want to talk about inhaling. I want to talk about bringing something in very sharp. I have no idea. I know what this is. I do know what this is. It's a very dark room. Why would somebody? Oh, I think I know what that is. It's opium. It's opium. I know that. I just know that. It's dark. It smells in this room. It is so sad. Oh God. Okay. It is a life wasted. I have really no other way to put this. But the thing is, this is a man, and this is definitely off into the Orient. I don't know exactly where we're at. All I know is this is a man in the Orient. He appears to be 45 to 50 years old, but I don't know that that could be accurate because I feel like he's been in this for a while. And he's living in, oh, I understand. Thank you so much. He's living in his memories. He's retreated to his memories. That's all he wants to live in. He wants to remain happy. I see a family. I see him being pulled away from his family. And I believe that his family passed away. I believe it was like a total village cleanse where they took the men and they just cleansed everything else, if that's what you want to call it, but the men had nothing else to do but work. And when this person couldn't work anymore, it was like they were done with him and dropped him alongside the road. And where he found himself was in this cycle. And what I can say is, as I see this gentleman laying on this dirty couch or dirty bunk, looks like a bunk or a cot or something. There's like a table next to, this is really weird. Fancy seeing you here. I love you, Meredith. But there's a little table next to him, and it has like little vials and bottles, and there's water there. That's all I know. There's a thing of water there. And I feel like that's all he lives on, basically, is drugs and water. He's very, very thin. He's very jaundiced. But I'm going to tell you the thing that I get with this is more than anything else, as I see him laying there, I can feel his heart. And his heart is just 100% shattered. The moments between what we're going to call doses, I guess, are unbearable. It's like there's a tremendous amount of pain. His body has been physically run out. It's out. He's run his body out. But it is the heart that is just hurting, and there's nothing else. That's what he says. There's nothing else. Why would I step outside of here? There's nothing else. And the thing I see the biggest is as he's laying there on his cot, I just see tears coming out of his eyes. Oh, I get it. That's sad. Christine Emerson. So I want to talk about his feeling of enlightenment when he's under this drug, because I'm like, what is the lesson here? How can live? I mean, I know, and I understand lessons comes in all forms, right? But it's like when he was taking these steps closer to God or his divine or whatever, that's what he felt like he was doing. He was stepping into that energy. And his crown chakra, all of his energetic centers would be flooded. And he didn't feel alone. And he felt that many steps closer to his family. So he lived in that state to be closer to his family. And it was an illusion. He was living in this illusion. And he says he left his mark on the world, but he left his mark on the world. But after his usefulness was done, he also talks about he says he lacked the courage to end his life. He just figured he would die there, closer to God. It was not a life wasted. Maybe a portion of it, but he also carried. He had something that when he was walking, whatever he was doing, that was close to his heart, that was his family's. It belonged to the family, it belonged to his wife, it belonged to somebody, and he does this with it. He would hold on to it and be like this. And something about doing this type of thing, like holding something in his hand, brought him the memories, and that was what he used to move through his days. That's what I have. I'm trying to search for the lesson here. I think that you know a lesson on this. I don't think I need to come across with a lesson on this. I think they're like, she knows, she'll understand the lesson. She gets the lesson. She gets the lesson. Okay, I'm gonna leave that there. Over to comments. It's a repeating pattern of experiences to an extent from one life to another that is healing now. That's what I seek is enlightenment. Memories are an object he was reading it. Wow. Yeah, it was beautiful. Look at all the My Mystical Life people in the house. Yes, absolutely. There's more to life than enlightenment. And, I think you're absolutely passing out lessons like Halloween candy today. As we step into spiritual journeys, sometimes we forget that there's so much more. You have to experience things, right? The experiences are, and it's not about the destination. It's about the experiences along the way. It's about the journey. Absolutely. Okay, moving on. Can we get another? Whoop whoop. The dog's a loud drinker. Sorry. I went out and sat on the porch, and I'm sitting on the porch, and I have the peacocks in the barn screaming. I have the dog in the house howling. It's just crazy. Something ate one of our geese. I'm mad. Let me find out what ate one of our goslings, and I am not going to be spiritual on it. I can tell you that. It was a cute gosling. We like to love on our little baby geese because they're wonderful guard dogs. And if anybody steps in our yard, we will know because geese don't play. Anybody ever been attacked by a goose? They don't play. So what you do is you make friends with them when they're very little, and we love on them a lot. And so we had 4, and now we only have 3. We haven't figured out. There's no feathers, nothing. I don't know what happened. I don't know. But I searched the whole yard. There's nothing funny about being chased by a goose. It's even less funny if they catch you. So you be nice to them. Geese don't play. Neither do ducks. Well, our ducks are, so we have 4 Campbells, 2 Mallards, and 4 Pekings. And because we have a pond out back. And I'm enjoying the heck out of the ducks. But they're all hand-fed. They're all hand-fed babies. So as they come up, they're fine. They'll eat out of your hands. So, okay. Onward. We're going with Margaret Bennett. Margaret Bennett. Okay, fine. Call me. Margaret. First of all, you give me a headache. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. If a goose has babies, back away fully. We have peacocks sitting on eggs right now. I think that's the same thing about peacocks. Yeah, you always been friends with them. Well, we have turkeys running around the yard too. Oh, there we go. Help me, Margaret Bennett. Okay, there we are. Okay, Margaret, I'm supposed to pull a card for you first. So if anybody wants to join the membership on the 7-day free trial, please let me know and I will post the link here. I can't just post the link randomly because, hey, Chris, because if I post it too many times, it goes to like 8 different places, and then Facebook gets ticked off at me. Oh my God. Could you just lay down like a normal dog? I have to go do one of my major jobs. Go outside. It's 100 out there. You'll be back soon. Okay. Okay. Yes. Yes. Poor Buford. I know. Poor tortured Buford. Used to have flock wild turkeys in Kalispell. Yeah. Poor Buford. Okay. So Margaret Bennett, you're gonna have to keep like every once in a while being like, it's me. Okay. Oh. Okay. So what I'm going to say first is make sure that you're not being swayed by other people's opinions, do it my way, right? Do it my way. Don't listen to that. Do it your way. Your way is perfect for you. This is the 8 of Swords because you're going to feel judged. You don't need to feel judged for listening to somebody else. Do it your own damn way. That's what you guys want you to know. They're like, hey, sometimes when we just follow, we forget that we are actually in charge. Okay. So where'd we go here? Margaret Bennett. Okay. So I want to go to, and here's the thing, you guys, not all past lives are tragic. Not all of them have tragic ends, all those things, right? Some of them you live to be very old and surrounded by family. The ones that they bring to me generally are like, this is what we're learning from. This is why we have some trauma, right? But I want to go with, where are we? Okay. So I want to go into a beautiful white dress. Isis, you have a sparkling day. Yeah, I hear you. I want to go into a white dress. I want to go into a ground length dress. It had lots of little crinolines underneath it. Like it wasn't straight out like this, but it was poofy enough to make her feel like a girl. And this is a young girl, and she has really beautiful ice skates. Been creeping around driving. Okay. She has really beautiful ice skates, and she's really, really good at skating. She's really good at it. I mean, she's beautiful on these skates. How long ago is this? So the dress kind of speaks to Victorian times. I'm assuming they guys skated in Victorian times, because that's what she's showing me. But she shows something about her dress. Her dress is not constricting. So her dress allows her to stretch out with her legs and really skate, and to lift her legs and do different types of maneuvers. So I'm going, Heidi Leister, how are you? I'm going to assume this is something she actually had made specifically for ice skating so she could go out and have fun. I see her to be between like 12 and 15 years old. She's very graceful. She's coming into her own. She's very graceful, and she likes to go out and she feels like she's floating on air. It's a beautiful feeling, and she's just like, this is my peace. Oh, I'm supposed to ask you, have you found your peace? I'm supposed to say, have you found the moment or the way to bring yourself here? To find the quiet in your mind that allows you to expand and grow. Because this is what she found in this lifetime. And she was so happy. She was just so peaceful. And I see her spinning. I mean, she was really doing some incredible maneuvers, just really beautiful. She could skate far, she could skate fast, but she did spins and skated backwards, and she was just very impressive. And she loved the crisp smell of winter. She had an ear issue though. I don't know if it was from a sinus infection or um, you've actually felt a dress like that. It's just so flowy and beautiful. I don't know if she had an ear infection or if she got sick or whatever, but she had a problem with one of her ears. Had a little hearing loss over there. And she had a beau. She had a young man that and the only reason I know that is because as she's skating towards the bank, I see a guy standing there waiting for her to take her hands to help her onto the ground, so she didn't fall. What I can say about this particular moment, though, is I feel as if she became very sick at this time. So she spent way too much time out. Maybe she got wet as she was out there, maybe, sleeted or whatever. And she was just having too much fun and she didn't go in. And she got very, very sick. And I don't know why this is important yet, but it is. Um, but this gentleman there was also there to be there to help her. This gentleman actually became her husband. It was not a passing moment. Um, she's just talking about how she found joy and that feeling. And who on here ice skates? Does anybody on here ice skate? I haven't ice skated in years, but I lived on skates back when I was a kid. And there is a feeling to that when you're just out there and you're just going and it's almost like flight, right? So that's what she's talking about. She's talking about that feeling of just excitement and joy and freedom. And I feel like she had that moment where she was sick and it kind of pulled that back from her a little bit. I don't think her lungs were as strong after that. I think she had, and I actually talk about scarring on her lungs where she wasn't able to breathe as deeply as she would because they didn't have the capability to have like ice rinks, right? They had to do it when it was really cold outside and she couldn't handle that cold air. So that was something that was kind of pulled away from her. Oh, I understand. Thank you very much. And so she's going back to this young man. She's like, and this is kind of a theme today. I had to find joy in other places. I had to settle into finding joy in the family. I think she had some physical restrictions after this. And she had a reoccurring cough every once in a while. So she'd overdo, she would cough. I don't know what would have caused that as a sickness. I don't know what would have caused that. But it was a lifelong thing for her after that, where she had damaged her lungs. And she talks about even to the point of being pregnant, it created difficulties with her with being pregnant because she couldn't keep her breath. But that her children were pretty much the light of her life. And I get the number 3 for children. So she had 3 children. And even if it was detrimental to her health, she could have been very, very seriously sick having children, but that's okay. That's okay. And her little girl appears to be like her protege, like a carbon copy of her. So she found so much love and light within the family that it brought about, she cultivated this new feeling of joy. Like she likens that free feeling as skating to being around her family. And this is one of those moments that I get to say this woman had a wonderful life, like a very loving husband. He did something professional. I don't know if he was an accountant or what he did, but he looks very professional, like bankery kind of guy. And she talks about they had enough. They weren't overly rich, but they had everything they needed, and they had a nice little home, and their family was wonderful, and she was just happy. She found a different way to bring in that beautiful feeling of freedom of the soul, of this is my happy. And it had everything to do with being in that moment. And I will say she lived in the moment. That's a big deal. Living in the moment is a huge deal, right? Are you aware of being clairvoyant? Thank you, Chris. Are you aware of being clairvoyant? I changed my music. I hope that that helps, Chris. I found free music. How did you do that, Ken? Like, what is that? What is that? Some destinations won't get comments. What is that? I am so confused. So confused. um, that's so lovely. I have 3 children now. I'm very family oriented. So that is a really, really wonderful quality life. I can say that I feel like passing for her would have been easy. It would have been easy. She'd have been very, very calm about it. It's a beautiful life. It's a movie, isn't it? No, it's a wonderful life. But it's a beautiful life for her. And you know what? Here's the thing, you guys. We don't always have trauma in our trauma lives, right? Right now, we have signed up for the trauma lives. We're here to be in the thick of it. We're in the battlefield right now. We have come here at this time for all the hard lessons, and we want to learn faster. Is really what we're here for. And what does that mean? What does that mean? So Ken Jewel's post is all gold and has a little blue star. What does that mean? I don't know. So if we've done, like, okay, here's an example. And I have had, this one tripped me out. I had a victim of Jack the Ripper one time. Took me a while to figure it out because in my brain, I'm going, can't be Jack the Ripper. Can't be Jack the Ripper. Can't be Jack the Ripper. And I'm doing the reading and I'm going, can't be Jack the Ripper's victim. It can't be. That's too big, right? That's a big thing. Can't be that. Because there's only one Cleopatra, y'all. There's only one, one Abraham Lincoln. So to come across that, oh, thank you so much. Okay, thank you. I understand now. I'll take care of that. But as we go along, we might have a really, really wonderful, soft life to make up for the life where you might have been somebody's victim, right? So you don't always have to have difficult lives. You can have peaceful, beautiful lives where you just learn peaceful lessons like that. That's beautiful. Now, was she sick? She was sick. Yeah. But look what else happened. Look what else happened. So that's awesome. Okay. I didn't know. I'm like, yeah, absolutely. Okay. Ken Jewel. Okay. I never ask, I never do that. So I'm like, what the hell's going on? We're doing past life readings. But first I want to do this. I'm looking for the right deck. No. Okay. Oh, I don't need to look at the deck. So I got you. Thank you. So I hope that helps, Margaret. Wonderful energy, and you carry that through with you. I mean, you do. It's just you have a beautiful. So before I go over to Ken, you have a beautiful, beautiful silver white light on your auric field. So you're very, very, very closely followed by angels. And I don't know which angel it is. I don't know if it's Seraphim. I don't know, but you're followed very closely by angels. So I was going to pull down the deck for Ken on, they wanted me to pick a deck of cards. And, but I don't need to. So I want to talk to you about animal totems, Ken, first. I want to talk about the wolf animal totem, which is like one of the major ones people really want. They get so disappointed when I hand out earthworms and ants. But we can Greta. We can choose from the whole animal kingdom, and this is for Ken. We can choose from the whole animal kingdom to be able to use these animal totems. So very, very rarely do I give the bear, the wolf, the moose, the eagle, all those things, the phoenix. But I want to love all the angels. You're so very welcome. Thank you. I want to go into wolf. Now, the thing I'm going to tell you about this is a younger wolf. This is not an aged wolf, which means, this is also transitional. So it's interesting. Wolf is generally a full-time animal totem. They're that kind of energy, but this one is transitional. So this is talking about when you have tough challenges in your life, you can offer pushback. And this is where this animal totem comes in. He's like, okay, here we go. We have this coming up. So we're going to come in and we're going to be able to stand up for ourselves. So if you're not doing that, know that you're not leaning into all of the guidance that you're being given. Okay. The fact that this wolf is a dark brown, not gray, not white, he's dark brown. That means he's younger. It means he can be more, a little bit hot-headed and a little bit more aggressive and more protective of the things that he holds dear. And those are the energies that he also brings in for you as well. So when you are faced with dilemma and issues, so let's see how this goes. I'm waiting. I have someone on the chopping block and I'm just waiting. Give me a minute. I'm just waiting to see if we have troll. So just waiting to see if we have a troll. So make sure that you're paying attention to that when you are in situations where you need to be more protective of your family, of everything around you, that you're not being overly aggressive. So basically what they're saying is make sure you're seeing the other side of situations as well, because other people remember some things that you don't. I don't know if you maybe don't have as great if you don't have as great memory. Look at that. Look at me trying to find the word memory as you feel like you should, because they're like, there's some things that other people remember that you might feel are nuggets of information that you would have thought were pertinent. So I think that there's some things back hidden in your memory banks. I hope this makes sense, that you could be trolling to, that somebody else knows that you're not remembering. And you might be angry about a situation because you see it one way, and it actually is an accumulation of 3 or 4 different people that have memories of this that you could be going for. And you could go, oh my gosh, now I have more understanding of why this situation happened and why I was protected from it. Which might be also why you reach out and you are a little bit more protective of others around you. I hope that makes sense. And there's somebody in your family that is the tried and true, like the person that is the keeper of the records, or the people that is the keeper of the memories. That person is the person you need to go to. They're going to be an older individual. I see an elephant animal totem that is just ancient. I mean, it's just old, and it is the person that has the information, and they will tell you the truth. They will tell you truth. Okay. Kind of makes sense. It's okay if it doesn't make total sense. I don't attach myself to the outcome, because things play out over time. We don't know everything all the time. And as we start to look at some different situations differently, new things come to light. So it doesn't make total sense. That's okay. I'm okay with that. So let's go into a past life and see where they want to go. First of all, I can tell you've been here a long time. They actually, one of the first things they take me back to is like Paleolithic times. I'm so glad you were able to bury your mom's ashes. That's okay, Christine. You know it'll happen. That's not the life they want to settle on, though, Ken. And I say that because they've already pulled it back. They're like, nope, we're not doing that one. But that's just to tell you that you've been here a very long time. And also that there's some ancient knowledge there. So I'm a huge. They're showing me Göbekli Tepe. They're showing me um, really ancient Egypt. Okay, thank you very much. I understand. So that there's these satellite civilizations off of ancient Lemuria, and they're talking about your starseed qualities in ancient Lemuria, and actually more of ancient Atlantis, right? So Atlantis was a satellite off of ancient Lemuria where there was what we'll call an experiment of communication between extraterrestrial, Lemurian, Pleiadian to make a connection on the planet Earth. And that Atlantis was a generational kind of thing stepping off of this that did not thrive. It thrived for a while, right? But it self-destructed basically. And we're going right back to that wolf energy of being super protective. And this is a very warlike type of energy for you when it comes to Atlantis, because Atlantis was very, very warlike. Where Lemuria was peace, love, hippie, kind of not really. But I mean, they were trying to create communication, and they had to bring themselves down. That's what the fall of Lemuria was. It wasn't they got buried under waves. It was they buried themselves under humanity, and to be able to communicate and correlate with what the hell just happened. What are you doing? Okay. And associate with humans and create the connection between the stars and the earth. They brought their collective knowledge down to the point where they lost connection to the stars. And they knew it was coming. They knew it was coming for 10,000 years. 10,000 years. So all of these really incredible energy beings, that's where the Lemurian seed crystals come from. They took their collective knowledge and over time seeded the planet with these crystals. And that's why we use Lemurian seed crystals to meditate. But Atlantis was once removed, basically. So you have the Mayans, you have the Anasazi Indians, you have Aztecs, you have the Atlanteans. These are all satellites off of Lemuria, and they were around back at the time that Egypt started, and Göbekli Tepe, and Hopi as well. So this is one of the lessons in that particular lifetime that you were trying to learn. That Atlantean lifetime was peace in the soul. You don't have to move out with your energy. You can find that here. Everything you need is here. But you were also trained very, very strictly to be the person that went out. Also very intelligent. So I feel like you went on like intelligence missions where you worked machinery or you worked mechanisms, and you I don't know what that is. Trained other people to use things, or they're just showing you doing a lot of things and having everybody around you. Bye, Marcy. Marsha. I don't know why I did that. And this was a lifetime, spot on. Okay, good. Because this is a lifetime I'm going, wow, you were busy. I mean, you were busy. The blue star Kachina is a prophecy I was told about in 2012, and storms come like they're never seen. I believe they're talking about the solar storms. Yeah, absolutely. Hopi is amazing. Amazing. Their lore is just... so you were just very, very busy. So make sure you scale back your schedule in this lifetime. Don't try to do everything. Okay. Don't try to be everybody's everything. Don't try to fix everything. Show other people how to fix things and let them do it. You're passing on knowledge. That's your job, is to pass on knowledge. Do you learn things and then want to teach other people? Do you like get a skill and then you're like, I'm going to show other people how to do this because this is amazing. Oh my goodness, the dog. Hey, would you like to come in? Thank you. It's hot out there. Hot needs rhinos. Okay. And I want to talk about your eyes. I want to talk about your eyes. I'm going to say you have a really active imagination, a very good imagination. Yes, I'm always learning my trades, electronics engineer, and a mentor to others. Okay, you've done this so many times. You've done this so many times. I would even take you off, and I don't do this very. I would even take you off into like Greek philosophy. I would take you into. I actually hear Archimedes' circle. I don't know if you were in his circle of people, but I hear Archimedes' circle. I have no idea. I don't even know if Archimedes was Greek. I don't think he was. I don't know, but that's another one they threw at me. Don't overwork. Don't overwork. But do you see do you see processes? Like, so if you were to, does your brain visualize the process in which one thing goes to another? So do you see the connections in your head? Like this goes here and this goes there and that goes there and this goes there. You know, not everybody does this. Do you have things like that come across? When you're working on things, you're like, oh, what is that called? I have to look something up. You all right over there? What is the name of it? There's a name for it. There's a name for it. You'll have to look it up. I can't find it right now. Your mind is never quiet. Okay. This is a clair. This is a clair. So you're very clairvoyant when it comes to this. You're seeing the processes, but also you have a knowing of how to make things work like this. So that's a clair. The mind is never quiet. That's amazing. Now, I kind of go the other way. If I get upset at electronics, everything fries. Like if I get upset because something's not working quite right, nothing is going to work right because my computer will shut down. I'll have glitches, all sorts of stuff like that. So if you are having problems with your electronics, you need to step away and then come back because you will short circuit stuff. Anyhow, I hope that's helpful. And you're very, very interesting. I'm supposed to tell you that green aventurine is a wonderful color for you to carry as a worry stone or a tumble in your pocket. And then there's another one and it's red. And let me think on this because it looks like garnet stone to me. Garnet. It's garnet. Garnet. I feel like you've actually in one particular lifetime wore a copper cuff that had these two stones on it. And there's a third stone, but I can't see what it is. So these are going to be very good stones for you. Garnet and green aventurine. Are you okay? Do I need to hose you down? Okay. He's over here being all dramatic. Anyhow. All right, everybody. I've been on for almost 2 hours today. Yay, me. And I do have some work to do. So tonight's class in the My Mystical Life membership, if you guys are interested in the 7-day trial, let me know. I'll post the link up. You guys can go join this and see what kind of classes we have. You can attend the lives that we have for those days as well. Tonight's on energy and your personal energy and how to use it. And then I don't have my calendar in front of me. So I'm sorry about that. But I know we have human design this week, and we have, I think Nancy Bulliard is well on paganism. So if you're interested in that, let me know. And I hope you have a wonderful day. So find light, find love, find joy, feel divine because you are. And if Mr. Fry were here, he would say, may the light be with you always, and have a wonderful afternoon, you guys. Bye. Here's that link. I saw somebody was interested. There's the link. There you go. Bye.